Did you know that nothing is impossible? The only thing impossible for me is what I decide is impossible. I can do anything, and so can you. But you have to become the person you need to be first. Until you do that, success will always feel out of reach for you. I make multiple six figures driving an 18 wheeler across the country, living the American dream that most people never reach. Um, but I'm tired of being on the road so much. So I decided to become a business coach. And what I discovered in that process of becoming a business coach, going through that program, almost made me quit. Um, Going through the certification program revealed something big. I wasn't uh, ready to help others until I first worked on myself. Here's what nobody tells you about transitioning from any high paying job into entrepreneurship. The person who made you successful in your current career is not the same person who will build you a successful business. And I realized my old mindset wasn't going to carry me into the future I wanted. So stay until the end because I'm going to share with you the hard truths I've learned about becoming the person you need to be before you can succeed as an entrepreneur. Hey, everyone. If this is your first time here, I'm Tona Lisa Walters, business coach, truck driver, and stroke survivor. And this is my channel. My channel is all about success on your terms. Not what society tells you is successful, not your employers, but yours. And if you're a high earner watching this, uh, maybe you're pulling in five figures, maybe you made it to six figures in whatever industry you're in, but you're feeling like there's got to be more out there. This video is specifically for you. You've worked your way up, making great money. Maybe you've even hit six figures already. Um, and, that's what everyone talks about as the American dream. But deep down, you know that you want something different. You want to build something of your own and you want freedom. You want to be an entrepreneur. So this might hurt to hear, but most high earners who try to make this transition fail. I know because I did. Not because you're not smart enough, not because you don't work hard enough. If you can make six figures in the trucking industry, you definitely work hard. But because you make one critical mistake that almost kills your dreams before you even start. Let me tell you about my story. I spent years building my trucking business up. I was making I make multiple six figures. Behind the wheel, exploring the country, one city at a time, which is incredible to me. I like it. Um, I do like it, but making that kind of money without a college degree is great. But I'm trading my time for money um, at a very high level. I'm on the road for weeks at a time, living in my truck. I'm home occasionally. And I kept thinking, how can I make this kind of money at home? I tried a few things, they failed, and I decided I need a mentor. In my quest for finding a mentor, I found coaching that was talking about helping people transforming lives and they're helping them with their business. And I thought, you know what? Um, I transformed my own life. I went from making nothing to making six figures. I could help others do the same thing. So I made the decision I was going to become a business coach. So I invested in a high level coaching program, and I'm talking serious money. The kind of investment that made me think twice because I mean, this is real money. And I'm a truck driver. I got to run them miles to make that money. So, mile by mile, I had to earn to pay for this coach program. But I started thinking this is great. I got real world experience. I know what it's like to grind. I know what it takes to make money. And I can learn to coach people. I can learn coaching techniques and helping people, and I can do that in no time. But what happened in the program completely blindsided me. That first week of the program was a wake up call. I wasn't prepared for. I thought we jumped right into business strategies, marketing, how to get clients. Um, Instead, the coach started with something completely different. She started with asking questions about my dreams, my mindset, identity, about who I was, about the stories I was telling myself. And I was sitting there thinking, lady, I'm a truck driver who makes decent money. I know exactly who I am. But then she said something that slapped me right in the face, right across my cheek, right there. The identity that made you successful in trucking is not the same identity that will make you successful as a business coach and an entrepreneur. So I felt confused, a little defensive. I mean, I had worked my way up from nothing. I had built success through, pure grit and determination. And isn't that what an entrepreneur is? So, but as the weeks went on, I started to realize something uncomfortable. Yes, I was successful as a truck driver, but I was successful because I was really, really good at following systems, following routes, following regulations, following rules, following schedules. I realized I had never actually created anything on my own from scratch. I had never had to figure out how to attract customers, how to create value, how to build systems. I had always worked within existing systems. So once again, in my adult life, I felt like I was a complete beginner. Here I was successful in the trucking world, but I had no idea how to become a true entrepreneur. So I had a choice. I could get defensive and quit, or I could get humble and learn. And after spending years building discipline on the road, I know how to stick with something that's uncomfortable, that's hard, that I need to learn. So I put in the work myself. I started learning how to shift my mindset, build new habits, grow into the person that could actually handle the dreams I was chasing. I leaned into the tough questions. I got serious about um, self self development, and I stopped running from my flaws. I decided to embrace the process, and even though it felt completely foreign to me, first I had to get honest about my current identity. I was someone who executed other people's plans perfectly. I was someone who worked hard to build something for someone else, always within an established framework. I was someone who was used to being told exactly what to do and when to do it. But entrepreneurs, they have to create a plan. They have to figure out what to do when there's no manual. They have to handle uncertainty every single day. So I started on becoming that person while I'm still driving the truck. And here's what I did. I began studying successful entrepreneurs, not just their strategies, but how they think. How do they handle things? How do they handle not knowing what's going to happen next? How do they make decisions when there's no clear right or wrong answer? And I began building my decision making skills because you can't go back and forth. So I started making small entrepreneur choices every day. Most importantly, I stopped trying to figure out exactly how I was going to build a coaching business before I figured out who I needed to become to build that business. And here's what started happening for me. I began thinking like an entrepreneur. Um, Instead of just an employee or a contractor, I started seeing opportunities that was, blind to me before. And here's the key lessons that completely changed my trajectory. Lesson one: Success in one area doesn't automatically transfer to another area, but the ability to transform yourself does. So my trucking success came from mastering systems and consistency. But entrepreneurs require creativity, tolerance for uncertainty, and the ability to create your own systems from nothing. Um, I had to learn entirely new skills. So, lesson two, your current identity is both your biggest asset and your biggest limitation. The discipline, the work ethics, and the reliability that made me successful in trucking are incredible assets, but my need for clear instruction and predictability outcomes that was killing me, on my entrepreneur journey. Lesson three, you don't need to completely start over. You just need to evolve. I didn't have to throw everything away I learned as a truck driver. Uh, the customer service skills, the ability to work independently, the understanding of what it takes to make real money. All of this is valuable. I just have to add new capabilities on top of that foundation. And lesson four, the transition. It has to happen in your mind first before it becomes a reality. I start coaching while I'm still driving the truck. I start thinking like a business owner. I start making decisions like a business owner, solving problems like a business owner. So by the time I'm ready to make the full transition, I will be ready. And the biggest lesson, uh, nothing is impossible for me. Uh, what I just have to make the impossible possible. I have to become the person to make it happen. And that meant evolving beyond who I am right now. Even though I'm already successful in this field, I still have to evolve. And here's what I want you to do right now, especially if you're a high earner in the trucking industry or sales or whatever industry you're in, because you've already built success, is get honest about your current identity. What made you successful in your current field, and what parts of that identity might actually hold you back as an entrepreneur? And write that down so you can start working on that. And then next, start evolving your identity today. While you still have the security of your current income, don't wait until you have a business plan figured out. Start thinking like an entrepreneur right now in your current situation. How would a business owner approach this? How would what would this look like as an entrepreneur? How do entrepreneurs handle changes in the industry? Invest in the person you need to be, not just learning tactics you think you need to know. Skills without the right identity are just theory. You won't go anywhere with that. You need to invest in yourself. Okay? And start making that transition on your terms, not on society's timeline, not on everyone else's expectations, but on your own terms, how you want to be. So hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, because I'll be dropping new videos every week specifically for successful people who want to build something bigger than their current paycheck. And leave a comment below on what industry are you in, and what's one identity shift you need to make right now. What's one way you've been thinking like an employee or a contractor that's holding you back from entrepreneurship that you need to change right now? And I read every comment and I'll respond as soon as I can. Remember, you already have everything you need to succeed. You just got to make some different choices. You've already proven that you can build success. You just need to become the person who can build a different kind of success. And I learned that dreams don't come true because you just wish for them. They come true because you become the person you need to be capable of handling those dreams. Once I stepped into that new identity, all the skills and tools I had learned finally started making sense for me. And then they started working. So, time for some affirmations. Let me get my little board. Let's go through them together. I hope you can see it. I can do anything. I am creative. Nothing is impossible for me. I believe in myself. I am blessed. Now grab your partner. Y'all say them together. We can do anything. We are creative. Nothing is impossible for us. We believe in ourselves. We are blessed. Okay, that's all I have for this video today. I hope it helped you, and I hope that you start living life on your terms. See you in the next video. Bye.